What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Got Next podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Baldwin, my co-host, Donovan Moore.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
We got a special guest from Triple Play Fantasy. We got Eric on the podcast today. How you feeling today, man?
Feeling good, man. You know, hoop season starts. I don't know if y'all doing any fancy basketball drafts, but it's exciting time, man. Yeah. Exciting time.
Somebody in your room from Maryland?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Unfortunate Wizards fan.
Oh, same here.
Same here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're both from Maryland, so yeah, that's pretty cool to see, man. That's what's up.
What part?
PG County.
Yeah, PG County.
I grew up in Moco, right by Four Corners. Live in Baltimore now, so that's what's up. Love talking with the local people.
So today on the podcast, we're going to be ranking each NBA team with specific categories that I put together and basically putting each team in the category that we think they belong in. So I hope you all enjoy the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff, and enjoy the intro.
You ready to play, boy?
Yo, turn it up, Slack. I can't hear nothing.
All right, so we're going to get started with the Eastern Conference first. First team up we have today is the 76ers. So what category you guys thinking the 76ers belong in here?
I'm going to go conference semifinals. They haven't even made it to the conference finals, and they were the number one seed last year.
Yeah, that's very true, especially with the Ben Simmons thing up in the air. I'm not really sure where to put them right now. Don't know how you feeling, man.
I feel like Ben Simmons is definitely going to get traded this year. So I feel like you got to put them in that first round exit kind of team.
I like it. That's spicy.
Hey, that's truly what I was thinking too. I really don't know who they're going to be able to get in for Ben Simmons, especially with the defensive that he brings. And then I don't know what they're going to be able to bring in. So I like that first round exit category right there.
Yeah, I feel like it's a tougher Eastern Conference this year. So yeah, I'm thinking first round exit for the Sixers.
I like that. So next up, we got the Washington Wizards, who we were just talking about a few seconds ago. What do you guys think about the Washington Wizards this year?
Man, I'm making the playoffs. Let's be real.
Yeah. Fact. They got a deeper team, but like I said, the East is deeper, so definitely like play-in or no playoffs. I don't see them being higher than around that play-in tier.
I mean, I have no choice but to agree. I mean, if Kyle Kuzma is probably your saving grace, I feel like that's not really headed in the right direction. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the Atlanta Hawks here. How you guys feel about the Hawks?
I'm a conference semis. Like when Nate McMillan took over, they got really hot, but they were a sub 500 team before. I think they kind of hit the stride at the right time. Mm-hmm. I love Trae Young, but I think teams are going to start figuring him out a little bit. So I can't put him in the finals just yet. The conference finals, the conference semis.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going conference semis there as well. I think Cam Reddish could be a candidate for most improved this year. I think
I like that. I like that.
I like Cam Reddish a lot. The Hawks got a nice young team, but I'm thinking conference semis here.
To be honest, I'm gonna go with conference finals here, man. I think that these guys have.
So why? Why?
I just think they have everything it takes, man. You're talking about wing depth. We got DeAndre Hunter there. We got Cam Reddish, just like he was talking about. Kevin Huerter is no slouch, as you know, for being from Maryland. Kevin Huerter is no slouch, and who else? Bogdanovich. I mean, come on, guys. That's your wings right there. You got Clint Capella, who's always a defensive player of the year candidate, as well as a leading rebounder and shot blocker. And Trae Young is Trae Young. And
I'm surprised they were able to bring back John Collins. I thought John Collins was going to leave once he didn't get that extension last year.
I did too. I didn't even bring up John Collins yet. Exactly. And he has so much potential. He could shoot the three. He could finish. He already has dunk of the year basically in preseason. I think that the Hawks just have a lot. So I'm going to go with conference finals here. And I think I said conference finals too as well. So I think that's.
I went semis, but you convinced me conference finals.
Yeah, I went semis too.
I'll take that. All right, bet. So let's move on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. How do you guys feel about the Cavaliers this season?
I'm not making the playoffs. Not yet. I do think Darius Garland could be a most improved candidate person too, especially if they trade Sexton.
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on Jared Allen? Jared Allen is like my ride or die. Like, I think he's a star in the making, like a poor man's Rudy Gobert. People tell me I'm crazy. What do you guys think?
No, I like that a lot. He's not scared to contest anybody at the rim. He's got dunked on his fair share of times, but he's also blocked a few people at the Summit as well. So I definitely like Jaren Allen a lot. I like Evan Mobley too. That's another. They got a Twin Towers thing going there, but they got the backcourt. I just feel like they need that one wing piece, like that small forward shooting guard type guy that can just go out there and get it. But they got nice pieces, but I definitely think no playoffs for the Cavs.
I agree. I feel like they just need to figure out what they want to do with their big men. I mean, they still have Kevin Love on their books. They have Evan Mobley. They have who is it? Jared Allen, and then there's one person I'm missing, Lauri Markkanen, and then now Taco Fall as well. So they have a lot of bigs, and it's like I don't really know what they're gonna do with those bigs. They got to figure it out. But like you said, if they get a wing, I think it's pretty much game. I think that they might actually be able to make the plan. But for right now, definitely no playoffs for the Cavs. Let's move on to the Detroit Pistons. They got Cade Cunningham, of course, and about nobody else other than like Sadiq Bey. So how do you guys feel about the Pistons this season?
Love their future, but not this year.
Yeah, no playoffs.
Yeah, I don't even think there's much to talk about there. I think the Pistons are just trash. Indiana Pacers. Let's move on to them. Pretty interesting team here. Domantas Sabonis, All-Star, of course. Miles Turner was a leading defensive player of the year candidate for like the first part of the season. So how do you guys feel about the Pacers this season?
I think first round exit, and I would have actually had them kind of in that same thing. They did get Rick Carlisle back, and I think that's a head coach improvement over Bjorngren, but I just don't like the mesh there. Like they try to play two bigs of Sabonis and Turner, but they don't play Turner in the fourth quarter. I love Malcolm Brogdon. I love Karis LeVert. I just don't really see them meshing well on the court. I'd be happy to be wrong, but I think first round exit.
Yeah, I'm about the same, either first round exit or play-in game for the Pacers. They have a solid team and they're always tough, gritty, and Rick Carlisle is definitely a very good coach, but I can't really see them peaking past the first round. So like around that first round or play-in, I see the Pacers right there.
Tough Eastern Conference this year for sure. I don't see them making the playoffs, or I think they're making the play-in. I see that. I don't see them being like a surefire playoff team.
Are they doing the play-in this year with 82 games though?
Are they? I don't know. That's a great question. I would assume that they are. I would assume they are because I mean, with the ratings they've had and the way that they kept it up last year, I would assume so.
I thought they did the play-in last year because there were 72 games. I've been wondering that. So
that's a good.
That's a really good question. But for right now, I think I'm going to put them in the play-in category. I could definitely see.
All right.
Next, we got the Milwaukee Bucks, reigning champions of the NBA. Who wants to
gotta put them in the NBA Finals?
I mean, I don't see how you don't put them in the NBA Finals at this point.
Yeah. They didn't lose anyone. They got a healthy team now.
Healthy team. And did you guys see Giannis in that preseason game last night?
Jump shot looking a lot better.
Jump shot looking nice. Absolutely. Got to put the Bucks in.
I think the pressure is off them too. Like they already won one. And like I think the pressure's always been on Milwaukee, which is why they haven't performed. And it was kind of off last year because like 72 game season, like the pressure's on the Nets because they have the super team. Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of like, okay, they were playing with house money. They were the third seed and they ended up winning it all.
That was a really good point you just made there with them not really having any pressure, because even when they played up against the Suns, it was Chris Paul. It wasn't really much about Giannis. So, yeah, exactly. I definitely agree with that. And I think just them coming off a championship, everybody knows their role now. I think everybody knows what is expected of them, and they're just going to come in and just cook like they usually do, be at the top of the Eastern Conference. Let's move on to the Toronto Raptors. What do you guys think about their chances to make the playoffs this year?
I don't have them making it. I actually have their under 36.5 wins. Siakam starting out the year with a torn labrum. Kyle Lowry's gone, the emotional leader on that team. I mean, they're building really around Van Fleet. I like Nick Nurse as a coach, but they just got a lot of unproven talent with Scotty Barnes. He could be good. They got Rodney Hood and Ken Burch, but I just kind of see it being a transitional team.
Yeah, I'm about the same. Like you said, Siakam starting out the year injured, and that's already one solid 20-point per game scorer off the team that kind of has a lack of scorers as you look at their roster right now with him and Van Vliet. So I'm about the same. No play-in or no playoffs for the Raptors, but definitely no playoffs for sure.
I think easily they're definitely a no playoff team, but I do kind of like what they're building. They have some good pieces there. I like Scotty Barnes so far. I think he's showed versatility, ability to do a lot of things on the court. So, yeah, I like the Raptors for the future, but as of right now, definitely not a playoff team. Let's move on to the New York Knicks.
I like them at the conference semifinals. I think their biggest Achilles heel was that they didn't have a lot of scoring. I mean, they led the league in opponents' points per game last year, and that's what you're going to get with Tom Thibodeau. I love the defense anchors they have, Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel, and they got Kemba Walker at a discount. And figure he might provide a little bit more scoring off the bench. They're going to have Obi Toppin for the entire year. Kevin Knox going into year 3. I think that they're going to get better, and I think that they should have beaten the Hawks in the first round, and I think that's going to motivate them this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I might see the Knicks that same first round exit team again.
I can see it, yeah.
Julius Randle was definitely not the same guy in the playoffs that he was in the regular season last year. So I feel like he has a lot to prove this year again. Kemba Walker was a decent pickup, but he didn't have a great stint in Boston. So I feel like Kemba could definitely have a bounce back year here with the Knicks. He's back home. But like we've been saying the whole time we've been on here, the Eastern Conference is deeper this year. It's a tougher conference. So I see a first round exit for the Knicks again.
I definitely have to agree with Donovan on this one, just because, like you said, the Eastern Conference is going to be rough this year, and I can't see them being a top seed. So they're going to be one of the bottom seeds if they do make the playoffs, and they'll be playing against the Bucks or the Nets, and no shot they win any of those series. So I definitely see them as a first round exit for this year, unfortunately.
Friendly wager when they make it to the second round.
Hey, all good. We're going to be right here. Best believe. We're going to be right here.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad we don't agree on everything, because then it'd be boring.
Next, we got the Charlotte Hornets here. Interesting team. What do you guys think about the Charlotte Hornets this year?
I don't see them making the playoffs just yet. I'll admit I was a little bit wrong on LaMelo Ball, but I just don't think they have enough talent. I think it starts with management at the top. And as great as a player Jordan is, he is an awful manager.
Yes.
Or awful owner. And then I don't think they have a good general manager. I like James Borrego as the head coach, but I just think it's a very dysfunctional organization. So I say no playoff.
Yeah, I see Charlotte around that playing game area again. They got a lot of young talent on that team. But, being young, they're going to make some mistakes, and I think that could kind of hurt them at the wrong times in this upcoming season. But I see them around the play-in game. Same as last year. I think they made the play-in, so I think they'll do the same this year. I think next year could be the year they break through.
I like the point you said about next year being the year they break through. They just have a lot of interesting pieces on this team. LaMelo Ball, they got Kelly Oubre in the offseason. Gordon Hayward was really good until he got injured. They do have an upgraded center now, which I think they definitely needed. Cody Zeller is not a starting center in the NBA anymore. So Mason Plumlee, I like that as an upgrade. He's definitely a better playmaker. James Bouknight has some upside for sure. I think they're a pretty young team, and yeah, I definitely don't see them making the first round, but they could make a play in best case scenario, but I don't think so this year. Next up, we got my team, the best team, the Miami Heat. I think I'm gonna go first here. So
Go ahead.
We got Kyle Lowry. We got Tyler Hero averaging 25 in the preseason. We got Jimmy Butler coming off not really one of his best seasons as far as the playoffs, but during the regular season, he was pretty good. Showed some versatility, getting rebounds. I think he averaged 7 assists and 7 rebounds last year, so that's pretty good. Bam Adebayo, I think his mid-range jump shot has looked really good so far. I like that, and I think our only question mark will be our bench. Our defense is going to be there. It's just about offense and our bench. So Victor Oladipo and I think Tyler Hero are going to be the X factors for this year for the Heat, and we'll go as far as they take us.
So where are you putting them then? You left us hanging.
You're right. I didn't even say that. Gonna say conference semifinals. Yes. I think they can make it that far. They got good defense.
Me on that, and I'm not saying conference finals. I have more confidence in the Heat than you do.
Wow. Yeah, you're going to have to talk to me about that one. Go ahead. Convince me.
No, I mean, they made it to the finals 2 years ago as the 4th seed. Eric Spoelstra is the second longest tenured head coach in the NBA behind Greg Popovich. I don't think he gets nearly enough recognition for his in-game adjustments. Pat Riley, I think, just runs the team very well. And I think Kyle Lowry was kind of the missing piece they needed on offense, that postseason experience. Him or Jimmy Butler can take the last shot. They're very good defensively. I mean, I see him as the top 3 team in the East.
I love it.
Yeah, I see the Heat around that conference semifinals, conference finals area. They got a tough team. They're always well coached, play strong defense, and they got shooters. So they got everything you're looking for in a conference finals contending team. Bam Adebayo, I think, is going to have another great year. Tyler Herro, I think he'll be another player that he took a step back last year, but I think this year he regained his focus. And he's one of those guys that I feel like thrives off the criticism and the pressure. So I think he'll have a very solid year as well. I see the Heat around the conference semifinals, conference finals area.
You gotta break the tie. I said conference semis. He said finals. What you thinking?
Conference semis.
Okay. All right. I mean, it was an empty category, so.
Yeah, we had to fill it.
Got our first team in there. One of I think probably the most interesting team this year is up next in the Chicago Bulls. What do you guys think about the Chicago Bulls?
I mean, they probably have like one of the best 1 through 5. Levine, Lonzo Ball. They have Vucevic for a full season, traded for DeRozan. Patrick Williams in his second year. I'm kind of curious about how Billy Donovan is as a head coach. I wasn't a big fan of him as OKC, but I think they have enough talent that they go to the conference semis.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think conference semis for the Bulls. They got a nice starting 5, and they got a decent bench as well. I think they got Alex Caruso coming off the bench. I can't remember who their backup big man is, but I think he's a pretty solid player. But the Bulls got a solid team, man. So I definitely like a conference semifinals push for the Bulls here.
I'm definitely going to say conference semis as well. They looked really good in preseason, and I like the point you made, Eric, about them having one of the best 5s in the NBA, which is very true because, Vucevic does not get enough credit for how good he is. He could post up. He could shoot threes. He's a pretty good passer. Like, Vucevic is one of the best centers in the league. You got Zach LaVine, one of the best scorers in the league. Lonzo Ball, one of the best passers in the league. You got DeMar DeRozan, one of the best mid-rangers in the league. Like, it's a lot of good things going right for them. So I'm going to rock with the Chicago Bulls and the conference semifinals. I like that spot. We got 3 more Eastern Conference teams here. We got the Brooklyn Nets up next. So what do you guys think about the Brooklyn Nets this year?
I mean, even without Kyrie, their NBA Finals, Harden and Durant are 2 of the best offensive scorers. And, it's kind of an all or nothing for them. And I think after how they lost last year, they're going to ease it up a little bit in the regular season. I don't expect them to be, a 60-win team. But I think come playoff time, I mean, you can't guard both KD and Harden.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said right there. And, lost in all the Kyrie Irving drama and everything, Brooklyn still has Patty Mills right there at point guard, who's no slouch at all. He's a champion, plays great defense. He can knock down the 3-ball, and he's a great decision maker. That's everything you look for when you're a championship team and you're point guard. So I'm putting Brooklyn in that NBA Finals tier as well.
Yeah, I think with or without Kyrie Irving, they have enough to win a championship. I mean, Joe Harris is just, even though he missed a lot of those threes last year, you cannot discount Joe Harris. You can't help on defense for anything. You have to stay up on Joe Harris the whole time. And how you going to do that and guard KD and Harden at the same time? And then if Kyrie's there, come on. Like, I feel like it's too much going on. And easily they have enough talent. They have easily enough talent just to make it to the NBA Finals. So definitely going to put the Nets here in the NBA Finals tier. We got 2 more teams left. We got the Boston Celtics up next.
Going first round exit, like, I like Jason Tatum a lot. I think Jaylen Brown had a career year. They have a new head coach. I don't really see – I know Marcus Smart is there. I just don't like the fit they have. They committed to 2 forwards who don't necessarily play well together. Like, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both need the ball in their hands to be effective, and they both have max contracts. I just don't see the fit, so I'm going first round exit.
Yeah, I'm going first round exit as well for Boston. I think it was a solid move for them to get rid of Kemba Walker, but one of the things they needed last year was interior help. They didn't really add that, and I didn't really like the move they made when they traded Moses Brown away, who was a solid young big man.
And they signed Robert Williams to a huge extension like 3 years early.
Yeah, they could have waited a little longer on that as well. So I think they brought Al Horford back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they did for no reason. I don't see that.
So some of the moves they're making is kind of questionable right here, but I see first round exit because Tatum and Brown are too talented for Boston to not make the playoffs as a whole. I see first round exit.
Agreed.
I have to agree with you guys here. Definitely a first round exit. They have desperately needed interior help, and I think Robert Williams is, while he's a good player, he's just a minus on offense. And on defense, he's a good shot blocker, but he's not like he's not definitely not a perimeter defender or anything like that. So he'll be a liability in pick and rolls. So I don't know. And I think that their bench is just not there for me. I don't really see who's on their bench that they can really look to score any points or play a lot of defense or anything. I think that they've always just had a lot of bench players that don't really do much. Like Romeo Langford, I don't know how he's still on the team at this point. What has he done? Like, I don't know. A lot of these guys don't really deserve roster spots for me. So I'm going to say first round exit. But yeah, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum should be enough to get them to the first round. And then we got the Orlando Magic last for the Eastern Conference.
No playoffs. They have the lowest over-under win total of all NBA teams.
Yeah, same. No playoffs.
Yeah, not much to talk about here. Too many point guards for me. They got to decide what they're going to do with all those guards. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in the no playoffs tier. Let's get to the Western Conference, man, which is the Eastern Conference now. It's kind of weird. Let's go and start with the Dallas Mavericks.
So I'm going first round exit, but this is a really hot take. I could see them not making the playoffs. So Luka Doncic last year had the 8th highest usage rate of any player in a season. And it goes along with the Harden with Houston, Westbrook, OKC. And I think when you rely on your guard too much, that it's a forwards league now. Like the most successful players are forwards, and you're just risking injury. And there's been that video of Luka circulating being Luka Doncic. Like the offense runs through him. Like you look and they have Porzingis, who's kind of at the downside of his career, Tim Hardaway Jr. He's too talented to not make the playoffs. So that's why I say first round exit. But if he gets hurt in any capacity, they're not a playoff team.
Yeah, I fully agree with everything you said there. We haven't really seen the Mavericks make any improvements to their roster to build around Luka. They haven't tried to really get anybody in there. And then I feel like they took a step back on the coaching side as well. I feel like Jason Kidd is not anywhere near the same level of coach as Rick Carlisle is. So I see the Mavs as a first round exit just because simply Luka's too talented of a player to not make the playoffs at all. But they won't go too far.
I actually don't think it's a hot take to say that they are in the play-in this year, just because I think that we've seen it for 2 years now. Luka has averaged 40 in his 2 times in the playoffs, and it's like he gets no help. He gets no help at all. It's him and Tim Hardaway. Those are the only 2 people I trust with the ball in their hands, other than like Jalen Brunson, but he doesn't get that many minutes in the playoffs. So it's like, where are they going to get offense from? And they already don't have any good defensive players. None of the players I just mentioned are good defensive players. So I think probably the best defensive player they have is Dwight Powell. And like, I don't know what he's going to do for you. Marjanovic is too slow at this point in his career. So I don't really know where they're going at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and say play in. Let's say play in. Let's go with the Denver Nuggets up next.
I'm going to go conference semi. I would have them go in conference finals if they had Jamal Murray for an entire year. You have the reigning MVP in Jokic. Michael Porter Jr. is right now the odds favorite to have most improved player. I like Monty Morris. I think they're a pretty well-coached team. They usually have a general good home court advantage. I think second round is fair for them.
Yeah, I fully agree. Jokic, obviously, as we know, is a great player. And like you said as well, I could see Michael Porter taking another step up this year. He's got to live up to that contract they just gave him. So I could see conference semis for the Nuggets. If they had Jamal Murray, I could definitely see them hanging around in that conference finals area. But conference semis.
If Jamal Murray was on their team, I'd put them in the conference finals place, just because I think they have Jamal Murray. I don't remember who their 2 is, to be honest, right now. They have MPJ, they have Jeff Green now, and they have Nikola Jokic. And they have Bol still coming off the bench. They have a really good team, a really I don't know, it's hard to predict their team, and I think that's a good thing. So I really like MPJ too. He's on my fantasy team, so hoping he does well this year. So I'm definitely going to put them in the conference semifinals section. Next up is the Memphis Grizzlies.
I actually think conference finals, like their ceiling. I actually have them winning the division. They just have a lot of depth. They have Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark, Steven Adams, Chris Dunn, Jarrett Culver. They're the 6th youngest team in the NBA. They've gotten better and better each season. That's kind of like my hot take is like the Mavs really suck and the Grizzlies do very well. Like the other teams in their division are the Timberwolves, the Rockets, and the Spurs. So they get to play those 3 teams 12 games a year. Figure maybe they win 8 or 9 out of them. Maybe get a good playoff spot.
No, I like that. I feel like Ja Morant definitely takes another step forward this year. He's gotten better each year. I feel like this is the year he puts it all together. He adds the jump shot into his repertoire along with the already insane athleticism that he has, and we already know the type of playmaker he is. I think their biggest question with the Grizzlies has always been, will they be able to put a bench around them? And they started to add some decent pieces to that team. So I say conference semifinals for the Grizzlies.
I'm gonna put them in the conference semifinals section, but I do still think they're a first round exit, personally. Just because I don't see them getting a high seed. Pretty much the same situation I said with I forgot what team it was, just that fast. Oh, the Knicks. I don't see them getting a high seed, so they're probably gonna end up playing a higher seed in the playoffs. And I just don't really see their team really being able to compete with some of these better teams in the Western Conference. Like we're talking about the Phoenix Suns, who have DeAndre Ayton as their big, and then they have.
Whoa! Spoiler: we haven't ranked them yet.
But they have DeAndre Ayton as their big. They're coming off a finals run. So I mean, I don't know. I don't really see them making it that far. The Memphis Grizzlies. I don't think they have enough. But we can go ahead and move on. Let's go to the Minnesota Timberwolves. What do you guys think?
No playoffs. They just had some controversy with their front office. D'Lo and Cat have been hurt the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're making playoffs.
Yeah, I'm the same way there. I don't expect much out of the Timberwolves this year.
I'm actually gonna say play-in, and I kind of like their team actually. I think D'Angelo Russell is decent. While he can't play any defense, he's a pretty good offensive player, I guess. Anthony Edwards might take another leap this year, or he could have a down year and then have a leap next year. Who knows? But I think Anthony Edwards, the sky's the limit for him. And Karl Anthony Towns is one of the best centers in the league always. So, I mean, I guess we'll be able to see. San Antonio Spurs are gonna be up next.
No playoffs. They're in rebuilding mode. Tops last year.
Yep.
I fully agree there.
Yep. Not much to talk about here. Just gonna put the Spurs there. We got Utah Jazz up next.
Conference Finals. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. Donovan Mitchell. They're hungry this year. They got Mike Conley back for another year. Jordan Clarkson off the bench. Bogdanovich. They're a deep team.
I feel like Utah kind of does this to us every year. We fall into the trap.
They do. This is the year. It's like Milwaukee. Like they do it to us every year, exactly. And then they pull through.
Exactly. Every year, you kind of have faith in Utah. I think this could be the time they break through. They always just find ways to lose. Yeah. I feel like they'll have a great regular season, as they always do. They'll be a top 2 to 3 seed in the West, but I don't see them making it past the conference semifinals.
I think their ceiling is probably the conference semifinals. I don't see them making it much farther than that. Rudy, yeah, like Donald said, I think they do this to us every year. I mean, they look so good. They were the best team in the NBA last year, record-wise, and then they win the playoffs and just lay the egg like they usually do. So I'm gonna say conference semifinals here. It's gonna be their ceiling. Next, we got the Los Angeles Clippers without Kawhi Leonard.
I say no playoffs. Like, I think the Clippers are kind of punting this year. Paul George and Kawhi are both signed through 23, 24. At the minimum, they have player options in 24, 25. And they're worth over $45 million, so they probably will pick them up. But they have a very injury-prone team. Batum, Ibaka, Reggie Jackson. I mean, he's like 32. I think this is kind of like hey, we'll tank this year. We'll get a bad pick. And then Kawhi will be fully healthy. PG will be healthy. And we'll be in contention next year.
I actually like that take you had right there. I could definitely see the Clippers kind of tanking this year and trying to play for a draft pick and maybe use that to go get a superstar or something next offseason. But I feel like Tyronn Lue is too good of a coach, and Paul George is a really good player. He kind of got rid of the Pandemic P nickname last year when he was doing some work for them in the playoffs. So I think first-round exit without Kawhi, they could still make the playoffs. I see a first-round exit for the Clippers.
I'm gonna agree with you guys. I think that right now they're just trying to evaluate talent around the two, like their two stars, and just trying to figure out who's gonna make the team next year. I think they want to see a lot from Terrence Mann this year and like a few of their guys off the bench. So hopefully they can step up and be big in their roles, but definitely don't see them making the playoffs. Next we got the Phoenix Suns coming off the NBA Finals.
I'm gonna go conference semis. I know they just made it to the finals. Chris Paul, that's the healthiest he's been in 4 years. I think it was kind of everything clicked and went right. But I just don't see them repeating last year's success.
Yeah, I'm the same as you there. I see conference semis. I feel like Phoenix, I'm not going to say they got lucky, but they were one of the most healthiest teams in basketball last year. So a lot of teams were injured. I don't think they would have made it out of the first round had Anthony Davis not gotten hurt, and the Lakers weren't really dealing with injuries. So I say conference semis. They have a solid team, but I don't see them making it back to the conference finals again.
I think great point with the injuries last year. I think that was a lot of why the Bucks and the Suns made the finals last year. It was just a lot of injuries and stuff. So I definitely see them making the conference semifinals at best this year. The Portland TrailBlazers. This is gonna be an interesting team to talk about. Who wants to start here?
Donovan, you got it.
TrailBlazers. I don't know. Portland is just one of those teams. I feel like Damian Lillard, like we say about every player, he's a great player, but just the team around him, nobody else shows up when it comes playoff time. The problem with Portland, I feel like they don't have enough defenders. They need one of those guys. They could use it. That's where Ben Simmons could be valuable as a place like Portland. But for the sake of this conversation here, I say first round exit for Portland.
Yeah, that's the epitome of Dame Lillard's career. Besides the 1 year he got into the conference finals as the first round exit.
I hope he sees that they're not going to be good this year and leaves around the trade deadline, because I kind of don't see him staying the whole year, especially if they're bad in the beginning, because they didn't make any offseason moves like they said they would, really. So I'm going to say first round exit for them, like always. Next, we got the Sacramento Kings. I think I know exactly what everybody's going to say here.
No playoffs.
No playoffs.
To be honest, you could do that with the next four, because Zion got ruled out for no timetable.
Mm-hmm.
So Pelicans with no Zion, I feel like don't make playoffs.
Yeah, especially Lonzo Ball.
It's basically just Ingram, Valanciunas, and Devontae Graham. Like, the rest of the team is kind of like bench players, G Leaguers.
I agree. Easily no playoffs. I was about to say play-in. Houston Rockets, one of my favorite teams this year.
They're gonna be fun, but they're gonna be fun.
Yeah, they're gonna be fun. They're gonna lose a lot of games, make a lot of mistakes, miss a lot of shots, but I think it's gonna be good for them in the long run. In like 4 years, watch out for the Houston Rockets. But as of right now, no playoffs for them.
Yeah,
I think we're all in agreement there. OKC Thunder, same thing. Just a lot of young guys there, just evaluating talent
with all their first round picks.
Yeah, no, they're gonna trade SGA for like 3 first round picks and have like 30 and just keep getting draft picks.
That's the record right there. I think they should definitely go for that. Next up, we got the Golden State Warriors. Definitely an interesting team here. Who wants to start here?
I'll go conference semis. Like, we don't know how Clay's gonna be coming off a torn ACL and then tearing his Achilles. I think going to the finals for 4 straight years, like, that takes a toll on you. Like, think about all the extra games you're playing, all the extra minutes. Steph looked amazing last year, and I love Kuminga and Wiseman being in his second season, but this isn't the Warriors of old. I think losing KD, a lot of pressure on the backcourt.
Yeah, Clay's been out of basketball for about 2 years now, but I feel like he's just one of those guys that can just get back on the court and go back to his old form. He's one of the deadliest shooters we ever seen. The Warriors got a nice team this year. Otto Porter, I feel like, was a great pickup for them. Yes. I think Jordan Poole will have a very solid season for them as well. Getting Iguodala back was solid. I feel like the pressure could be off Wiggins this year with Clay coming back. So I see them around. I honestly see the Golden State Warriors in the conference finals. Steph was playing just at an MVP level last year. I see the Warriors in the conference finals.
Definitely like what you said there. Conference finals for me. I think that they have all the things that they need, and now they have an elite center. Well, not an elite center, but definitely an elite-looking center, I'll say. He's 7'1", he can block shots. He can kind of hit a mid-range every now and then. Still developing, of course, but I definitely see them in the conference finals. And we got less than a minute left on this call, so I want to go ahead and finish this off. We had the Los Angeles Lakers last.
Maybe finals, right? 3 superstars. They're going all in.
Yeah.
Championship for nothing for them.
Yeah. Not much more to be said there.
Yeah, not much more to be said there. They don't win a championship this year. I don't really know what to say, man. But anything else anybody wants to add?
So I mean, we put 3 teams potentially winning it. Are those the only 3 teams that you could see winning it all?
No. I think if everything goes right, I think the Warriors could definitely win a championship. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'd add the Warriors to that list, and that's probably it for me.
Yeah,
I would add the Heat. To be honest.
I love it. I love it. Okay. I can actually see the Heat too, because they have more than enough defense. It's going to be about offense for them.
Yeah. I can't. I know like the Lakers are the fan. I just can't picture any other team coming out, but I feel like, yeah, if the Lakers get hurt, then it opens it up for everyone.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Got Next podcast. Eric, I appreciate you for coming on, and I just appreciate Triple Play as a whole. You guys are pretty cool, and I hope we can do this again.
Yeah, let's definitely collab in the future. Thank y'all for having me.
Man, absolutely, man. Have a good night.